Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Random Guy on YouTube. Today I will be talking about Baozun Incorporated. Baozun is a Chinese e-commerce company with a capitalization of $323 million and trades under the ticker symbol BZUN on Nasdaq Stock Exchange. Baozun has three business segments. Their core business is Baozun e-commerce, which directly sells goods to customers in China. Baozun Brand Management is a business which provides e-commerce solutions to other brands outside of Baozun. Baozun International is a segment that tries to expand e-commerce outside of China, but it does not bring any meaningful revenue yet. For anyone who is interested, here is a revenue breakdown by service segments and categories. Baozun reported Q4 earnings very recently, and the latest results are not yet included in this income statement taken from macrotrends.net. The Q4 revenue was $370 million. Until the first half of 2021, the sales have grown exponentially with a compounded growth rate of 28.6%, but the economic conditions started to be tough in China, and until now the revenue was declining. However, the zero-COVID policy in China stopped being enforced and the economic conditions are easing. In the last earnings call, management guided for more than 25% growth in 2023, and this is my best guess for revenue growth in the years ahead. Even though the revenue was declining, the company did a good job of increasing the gross margin, and recently even operating margin started to improve. It looks to me like the business is finally starting to turn in the right direction. Now let's talk a bit about the net income. In Q4, Baozun earned negative 63 cents per share. You may see quite a different picture on many websites because there is a substantial difference between GAAP and non-GAAP earnings. This difference is caused mainly by past investing activities, which were not ideal to say the least. However, this should trickle down eventually, and what is left is a healthy, improving company. I will not be doing EPS projections here, and let's just settle with the projections from finviz.com of $0.86 of EPS, and I believe they are referring to the year of 2023. It should be noted that Baozun were buying back their shares in the last year or two, and the buyback is not finished yet. According to finviz.com, the forward PE is at 6. Right now, the company is the cheapest it has ever been in terms of price-to-sales ratio. The price dropped more than 90% since the top in 2021 because of China fears and worsening economic conditions. Baozun's liabilities are significant, but much lower than the assets, and a large part of the assets is in cash on hand. Both cash on hand and shareholders' equity is in fact significantly larger than Baozun's market capitalization. To summarize, the compound annual growth of revenue in good times used to be around 29%, and Baozun is guiding for the return of growth this year. Baozun is also guiding for improving margins and cash flow, and we can see some improvement in the recent results already. Baozun is not GAAP profitable yet, but it is expected to become profitable in 2023. Price-to-sales ratio is almost at all-time lows at 0.25. Price-to-book ratio is at 0.5. And the company has a strong balance sheet. The obvious elephant in the room is China risk factors. To anyone who wants to invest in China, I would encourage to look up information about VIE structure, risk of delisting from US exchanges, and political and economic risk factors, and make up your own mind. In my opinion, it is the risk worth taking, and possible returns could be extraordinary. Now let's look at the portfolio update. Here is the full table of buys into my portfolio. Pause here if you want. And here is the reduced table with graphs. As you can see, S&P and Nasdaq rebounded in the last 2 weeks, while small caps keep getting destroyed. Fortunately, some of my companies got decent quarterly results, which launched my portfolio higher last week. Our returns are currently just between Nasdaq Fund and S&P 500 Fund. Russell 2000 is underperforming significantly. I still believe my portfolio will outperform indices over the long term. I will continue to add $100 each and every week to my portfolio and compare it to the benchmarks. Today, I am adding 19 shares of Baozun for the Friday's closing price of $5.22. Please understand that I am just a random guy on YouTube and not a financial advisor, and none of the content of this video is meant to be a financial advice. Full disclosure, I own all of the companies on this slide in my real stock portfolio. Thank you for watching and see you next week.